Diecast North is a channel devoted to the teen to adult toy collector, pop culture fans, and fellow nerd enthusiasts. This is a PG-13 channel. I might say some what? Viewer and parental discretion is advised. You know what you'll never hear me say? You know what I can do with less of? Ninjas. I have always loved ninjas from since I was a wee lad up until now. And ninjas have always held their mysticism for me, you know, with their mastery of the martial arts to like being able to like hide in the shadows and everything, you know, just being as mythical as they actually are. They are amazing to me, and I'm actually glad that Transformers Evolution has actually given us PROWL over here, who is a rendition of the Transformers animated PROWL and in G1 format. So this is actually really cool for me. I love the figure. Spoilers, I love the figure already, and I'm glad that you're joining me today to check this guy out. Welcome to an episode of Diecast North's Galactic Hooligan, and I appreciate each and every one of you out there joining me today, from everyone from like the Aquatarians to the, well, Aquatarians to the, to like the lizard people that are actually out there and everything. I know you're out there somewhere, you know? Anyway, glad that you're all joining me. Welcome to my show. Please hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'd really appreciate it. I know that my subscription list would actually appreciate it also. And already, I appreciate you all for joining me for this one. Now, let's take a look at this guy. And here we go, Evo Fusion PROWL. This is actually animated universe PROWL, and this guy is actually pretty cool, actually. I like this guy a lot, and I'm just going to tell you exactly what I don't like in a minute. But let's take a look at the box art right over here. Every time I see the box art, it just wows me every single time. I'm loving the glow that we actually have in his visors over here, which is very cool. I wish they were actually they were actually going to replicate this with like a little bit of light piping into his eyes and everything like that. That would have actually been amazing to me. But here we go, Transformers animated PROWL, and his Evo Fusion is just like him holding his shuriken like right in his hands and everything like that. And I kind of wish that he actually came with like maybe another weapon or something also and everything, you know, because like ninjas are actually the master of like each and every piece of weaponry that they actually can muster and everything, you know. They actually have to be the masters of like even guns and everything like that, you know. So like I kind of feel like he should have actually had more of an array of weapons and everything, maybe nunchaku or something like that also. But the one thing I actually thought was actually kind of interesting is that on this version of PROWL, they actually kind of like drew him over here with like the door wings that are actually on the back here, as they actually kind of like extend from either side of his body and everything. And I think that could have actually been like a missing element that would have actually made this cooler to me and everything, you know, because he is actually supposed to be other universe PROWL. He actually still has his chevron right over here and everything like that, which is very cool. But I really think that he could have actually made use with like a little bit more in the way of engineering or something like that. Just that slight bit of engineering might have actually made it like a little cooler and everything, you know. But there he goes on the box over here, and his Evo Fusion power is just holding his shuriken or his throwing star right in his hand and everything. And again, I just kind of wish that there was actually like a little bit more, but it doesn't stop his coolness factor for me or anything like that. I really just like love this figure altogether and everything. He is actually very cool. So we're actually going to take you from toy and have him wheelie his way into our hearts and everything. You know, it is Transformers animated PROWL, and he just looks great. I love everything about him over here altogether. I'm loving like the rivets that are actually coming right over here. and just let me bring you a little bit closer into like his canopy here and everything. Really nice. The Tempergraph Autobot symbol over here is actually really nice. There's like a little bit of a paint mishap, but it's such a small little thing though, you know what I mean? So like right over here, we actually have his weather vane right here and everything. I love this so much. His motorcycle mode is actually very cool to me, even though you don't really see a lot in the way of engineering or anything like that. And you could always like kind of say it's science fiction, so this is kind of like a future bike and everything like that, where his engine is actually built into the corporate compartments in there and everything like that, you know? He's actually really, really cool. I like him so much. I kind of wish that his back seat actually kind of like went into a little bit more to like cover up more of the arms over here and everything. And one thing that I actually found with mine, with the lights and everything like that over here, like this could have actually been a little bit better done. Like when I actually got mine out of package, the blue light actually kept on falling off, and I just had to fix it with like a little slight bit of Gorilla Glue to like actually just like get that in there and everything, you know? But aside from that, I haven't had any real mishaps with him. He was tight as anything altogether. Yeah, he's actually great. I'm loving all the detailing going in here also and everything. His gas cap is actually painted. I wish the dials over here were actually painted as well and everything, because hold on, let me just bring you a little bit closer so you can actually see that a little bit better. The dials are actually really well done. I love them so much. Handlebars, really nicely done and everything also. I'll actually tell you something about that also, because I kind of feel like that could have actually been made into like another weapon, like a Tonfa or something like that. You know, like I kind of really do feel like ninjas should actually have like an array of weapons and everything, and I kind of feel like this is actually kind of just missing that. But aside from that, he's actually really cool. He rolls pretty okay, and I'm going to show you that right now. And for that, I just had to get my artboard out here and everything to show you that he actually does roll pretty well and everything, you know? And the one thing that actually stops him from rolling as well as he actually should are his shuriken that are actually located right over here and over here. I mean, they look great, you know? Don't get me wrong. They look fantastic being on him and everything. But that's the one thing that actually stops him from being able to like move as well as gracefully as he actually should. He actually has kickstand right over here, and depending on your surface, it will either stand really well or kind of like knock itself over and everything like that. And I have like my desk on a slight incline and everything because I'm actually doing this on my art desk, you know? But like you put this over here, and I'm actually kind of like made a liar of and everything because he's actually working really well right now. But there are times there where he'll actually kind of fall over a little bit and everything, and he'll actually kind of like, you know, it just works just slightly well, you know? Like right over here, you can actually put the kickstand in and just have him going off and everything like that. And I kind of wish that there were more ways to like actually get like actual bots to like actually sit on him and everything like that, because he actually, like, let me see, let me get Skuldrin over here since I actually have him handy here. And he's not really made for like a regular size deluxe bot or anything like that. And I would tend to think that he could actually use like maybe a basic bot or something like that as a way of like being a rider for him or something, you know? But that's it right there and everything like that. He looks okay, but it's not really the best or anything like that, you know? So there we are. And let me do a couple of quick comparisons for you. Here goes Prowl with Speedia 500 Burnouts. Always one of my favorites, Windblade. Transformers Generations Drift. I think we're kind of overdue for a new drift, eh? And Transformers Speedia 500 Road Rocket, because I just wanted to give a comparison between an RC mode as compared to this. They're really kind of like very compatible to each other, you know? They're not badly off from each other. Wheelbase is actually pretty much the same and everything. So I like the fact that they were able to keep the consistency of the motorcycle mold and everything, you know? Which is actually always just like a really nice touch. And I love the fact that even though they actually have completely different transformations, they really kind of like hold the consistency of the motorcycle. Well, they're both actually street bikes and everything, you know? So like, it's actually really nice to see that. So that is it in vehicular mode, and just let me know also if this angle is actually working out for you. I got like a smaller little tripod that will actually kind of like brings you right into the action right over here and everything, and I just wanted to see if this was actually like good for everybody's view and everything, you know, because usually I do this a little bit higher up, and I just wanted to like make sure that you guys are actually like happy with what's actually going on here and everything, you know. And just let me just check one more piece of articulation. There is only a slight left and right and everything on the wheel over here, you know. There's not really a whole lot or anything like that. So let's get you into transformation. I am excited for you to see the robot mode. And as I bring Prowl up here to actually start his transformation part of the film and everything, I kind of feel as though I'm not getting enough light when I'm actually down lower and everything. So I'm actually going to try to find a way to fix that. I think there may be another light that needs to be implemented here and everything, but let's transform this guy. And so we actually want to start off by removing, there are a couple of pegs that are actually right over here where the weather vane actually goes. So let us move these out of the way, and we'll bring these out to here for now, and we'll bring this out to here. And also the handlebars are actually going to get in the way for just a moment, but just like gingerly bring them over his hubcaps over here and everything like that, and you should actually be fine. After that, we actually want to remove one of his feet, bring it up like this, bring it down, and then we're actually going to give it a turn right over here. Oh, I'm sorry, right over here where this belt over here actually kind of goes. So let's remove this, and this actually goes right over here when you're actually going into vehicular mode. So once you actually take that foot down, you actually bring this down right over here, you bring this leg down over here, and then we actually do this. After that, we actually just want to bring his arms out, separate them. Let's bring this up for now, and then we're going to bring this all the way up, and then bring the wings down just a little bit. Oh, actually, before we do that, let's bring these handlebars back right over here. And they're actually in a couple of pins right over here, as you can actually see. So all we want to do is bring this down, actually not the wings, but the whole entire canopy. Let's bring the head down right over here, and then bring the canopy around. And you don't want to twist the legs around or anything like that yet, because you want to have this clearance to have his arms go over, and there we go. It actually needs to go under the upper chest piece and everything, and these wings need to go all the way up. And there's a small little clip right over here that goes right in there. So let's do that, and let's do this right over here, and again, that actually clips in there. We'll turn his waist around, and we'll bring his hands out, and there's a little clicking mechanism that goes right in here. And once you actually have that all done, you have Transformers Animated Prowl in robot mode. Prowl in robot mode is a really nifty figure to have in your collection here and everything. I'm really loving everything about his robot design here and everything, you know? He actually brings a lot into it. I'm actually loving his really inspired by, I'm actually thinking really inspired by Bruce Lee kind of body type here and everything like that, you know? His arms are actually really nice and full and everything. You know, I kind of wish that we actually had like another covering right over here. Nothing over here actually, because it's actually due to transformation and everything all together. We actually have like a couple of openings over here, but it's not as distracting as I'd actually think it would be. He actually kind of like has like these kind of like pants over here and everything like that. It kind of like just makes me think Kung Fu more than anything else, you know what I mean? Or like a ninja gi or something like that, you know? His boots are actually really nicely done and everything. The back is actually very cool also and everything, you know? You can actually leave the seat down or up depending on like how you actually like it and everything, you know? Just really, really cool. And this face over here. This face actually has Young Punk written all over it and everything like that. You know, like look at this guy all together. I like the I like the gold that they actually put on the outside of his ears over here. He actually does have a bigger chin and everything like that, but I kind of feel like this might be like young rookie Prowl or something like that, even though he actually has Sergeant like logo, like Sergeant markings all over him and everything like that, you know? And how do you actually mark off Sergeant markings on Cybertron and everything like that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't necessarily think that would actually be the same as it would be on Earth here or anything like that, but just really nicely distinctive painting touch-ups and everything. I like the what do you call it, the translucent canopy that we actually have over here. Again, riveting, just really beautifully done. He actually captures all the essence of what we actually had with animated Prowl, and it's actually very, very cool. I'm really liking this guy so much. His articulation is actually pretty amazing too and everything, you know? One thing that I was actually surprised of is well, let's go through this so far. So we actually have a 360 right over here, pretty uninhibited. He actually has a deep look up like this. He can actually look down to a great degree right over here. He actually has a mushroom peg right over here that actually secures his upper arm right over here. He actually has an in and out on a hinge right over here by his shoulder. He actually has a 360 right over here on the rotational joint on his bicep. He actually has 90 degrees of bend, which is actually okay. Nothing in his wrist except for an in and out, which is actually kind of a shame because I kind of wish that we actually had like a little bit more articulation for his throwing devices and everything. So that would have actually been great. He actually has a 360 right over here due to transformation on his waist. He actually has a little bit of a slight ab crunch. If it could only click in one more, it would be great. But I also understand why they couldn't have actually done it, and it's because of this right over here. The canopy actually kind of gets in the way and would kind of like jack up the motorcycle mode altogether and everything, but that's actually really cool. I really love this, and just that slight movement can actually give it so much dimension. He actually has a really great kick right over here. He actually does have a kick down this way. What kind of ninja would he actually do if he couldn't get that full ninja range right over there? You know, like that is better than Van Damme. Eat it, Van Damme. You know, like that is really awesome. I love that. He actually has a 360 rotational joint right over here at his upper thigh. He actually has a bend right over here, but he also has a full bend a little bit before, like after his knee over here and everything like that. So that's actually really cool, and it kind of like gives you like a little bit of you can actually kind of like make him look like he's actually getting ready to do a high kick and everything like that, and it doesn't really look out of place to me or anything like that. It might to you, but to me it actually serves a good purpose right there and everything. I love it. And also along with that, you actually have like a lot of dorsal inflection right over here. You actually have an ankle tilt in either direction. So this guy actually really comes out to have a great amount of movement and everything. I love it. So the one thing I actually really love about this, the one thing I really adore about this thing is the fact that he actually has a meditation mode. And one thing that I think is actually great when you're a martial artist is to actually be able to have this meditation mode, and you can actually do that with his legs over here by just breaking them up a little, and you can actually kind of like do this whole thing. And if you actually have like something where you can actually kind of like put him up in the air and everything, hold on a second, just let me fix this a little bit. There we are. And we actually have this whole thing going. So he actually kind of like just wanted to like kind of like have him up in the air and everything, levitating like a true master of the martial arts. You could actually have him kind of like doing this whole thing, and that's actually always great. I love this so much. It's actually a very cool figure. He's very cool. I like it a lot. As Prowl is trying to achieve inner peace, I'm going to give you a comparison between Prowl and his master Drift, stroking his beard as he's overwatching him. Windblade getting ready to test his might. And testing their Nendo with him is Road Rocket and Burnout. So the last thing I want to mention on animated Prowl here are his weapons. Now, the one thing about the weapons is that I think that they're actually okay. They're actually shuriken, throwing stars, that you can actually enable by taking them out of his legs and then just giving him a twist. And there we go. I actually did a lot of work to actually like make this the way it actually is right now and everything, because on the inside there are these little geared teeth and everything like that that I actually had to snap these open a lot on and everything like that, you know. They actually had a version of this that actually had the what do you call it? There is actually the Transformers animated version that actually had a better version of this shuriken. And what you actually do is you install them right into his hand right over here. He has two different kinds of fists. He actually has this one that's like a little bit more closed in, and then he actually has the more open 5mm fist. That's actually better for like most weapons. But for this version of Prowl, you really have to kind of like work these in here and everything. So you just want to open these up like that, and then there's a place right over here. Now, a lot of people actually say that this doesn't really work for him, but you just have to get it right past that that notch right over here on that thumb. Once you actually get it past there, he should actually be able to hold it okay and everything. Is it the best weapon? I don't know. Like, if you're actually into throwing stars and everything like that, yes. But I really think that as a ninja, he could have actually had like a lot more in the way of weaponry and everything like that. Like, I kind of feel like they could have actually had a way for these to slide off and then become Tumfa or something like that, because that would have actually been great, and it would have actually been like just awesome for him to hold it right over, to hold these things right over here in his hand and just be able to use this as like a ninja weapon or something, you know? Or he could have actually had like an ulterior sword that actually came in with him and everything like that. But he doesn't stop him from actually being a badass or anything like that, because this guy is just loaded with a lot of fun. I really like this guy a lot, you know? Do I actually recommend him? Well, let me see what I'm actually going to say in my final points of this video. And I wanted to do a quick message to Hasbro and Takata-san. I need more ninjas! Final thoughts coming up. In the realm of ninja arts badassery, there must be only one, and Prowl just might be it. He is actually really great all around. I really love this guy. I love this guy. I love this guy. But there are a couple of things that I actually kind of would have actually wanted to change. And one of the major things that I would have actually wanted to change was probably like his wrist articulation. I would have actually made it like kind of like more of a 360, and also giving him a little bit more weaponry and everything, because what's a ninja without his ninja weapons, you know? I love this guy. I think you will too. I highly, highly regard this figure. This guy is really fantastic. He's a lot of fun. I wasn't expecting so much out of him or anything like that, but since getting him, I haven't really put him down or anything like that, because he's actually been giving me a lot of surprises and a lot of fun for the size of this guy. Highly recommended. And if you like him, I'd like to hear what you actually think and everything, you know? Leave some comments down on the description down, leave some comments. Just let me know exactly what you think, and that's it for me. Thanks for coming and spending some time with me. I really appreciate you all coming in to see my show that's actually about total nerddom and everything. I really appreciate each and every one of you that's joined me, especially you, especially you, especially you. Thank you for making my show amazing, and it's actually amazing because you're actually joining me. So thank you so much for that. And again, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'd really appreciate it. Also, always remember that, actually, before I actually go on into that, where's my mental health check? The mental health check is, make sure that you guys are actually treating yourselves excellently. Make sure that you're actually looking good, smelling good. Make sure that you guys are, every single one of you out there and everything like that, make sure that you make your days the most spectacular that it can actually be, because you only go around once or 5 times in this lifetime and everything like that. So make it count. Make each and every second count. Also, treat others with respect, love, loyalty, devotion. Make sure that you actually pass all of that love around over to yourselves and then back over to me over at HQ, because I'd really appreciate it. Also, remember, when these stop being magical, that's when I'll stop collecting. I will definitely talk to you all soon.